our experience with Diddy and his entourage, the flip side at the Kahala Mandarin Oriental Hotel. Daddy's here with his entourage and Shaquille O'Neal, and they're doing a benefit concert.
And I'm seeing this group of people, this group of dudes with all this bling and gold on, and there's 18 or 20 of them at least, and they're all sitting together, all quiet, listening, and it's Nicole's, and she's really giving them a lesson or a small class on the HU, H-U.
One magic word.
One magic word, and she was literally sharing one magic word with them, and then encouraging everyone to join in a group. Huge.
Diddy, he was not at the pool. Neither was Shaquille O'Neal, just the entourage. And yes, they invited us to a party later that evening. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And we were cordial. We didn't, we said, yeah, maybe we'll see you down there. Mm-hmm. And we kind of left it vague and open. But intuition, gut feeling, here's the deal. And this is the whole story in the nutshell. The inner said no.
Yep.
The inner said no. And you could have easily been misled with ego, and you're on a vacation and all this bullshit. But the inner said, no, don't go. Don't go.
And it didn't feel right. It just did not, to both of us. Inwardly, it didn't feel right for me to be going to the party. Just did not feel right. And I always pretty much follow that intuitive nudge. I mean, it saved my life in Vietnam. It allowed me to sidestep adversity so many times, I can't even tell you. I wouldn't be here on this planet if I didn't follow my intuition.
And this is why we started the nonprofit, Divine Guidance Institute Modern Day Mystery School. It is a crisis. It is a public crisis. People keep getting fucked over. People keep making the wrong choice. People keep getting blindsided. People keep getting burned. And Sean Combs himself getting blindsided by all of this that was coming his way.
He had no idea.
But he did.
In a lot of ways, he had no idea that was coming the way.
When I was sharing the HU, one magic word, with everybody, he was not there. You're right. And that was a big point to this whole talk and this whole podcast today, was that had he been given the HU then, one magic word, and had he, added it to his daily regime, things may have turned out differently. It has such an impact on one's state of consciousness and their choices. It turns you into the best version of yourself, literally. And what does that look like? Your higher self, your godly self, the loving part of you, not the fucking crazy ego part of you, not the a sex addict part of you, not the angry part, the higher self. And that's what ends up running the show. Now, present day, back to getting burned and blindsided, we were warned then. Not essentially warned. We were just told, the inner voice, don't go to the party. Do not go. So we didn't. And that was the end of it. Now, decades later, you see why the inner voice was like, don't go. And we didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Looking back now.
But the point is, once again, trusting your gut.
Yeah.
Not getting burned, not getting blindsided. And like I said, it goes for the victims, the potential victims, right? Okay, they let their ego run the show. Like, I'm sure, well, there's no doubt, they all had a gut feeling, don't go to the party or leave at a certain time or what have you. But the little self, the ego, ran the show. And so they went because they had a motive. Whether it's to get a record deal, or just to hang out with some celebs, or just to be in that atmosphere. The little self, the ego, runs the show. And it does for most of us all the time, 24/7. That's where the struggle comes in. That's why we make poor choices. And once again, that's why it's a public crisis and the mystery school and the tools, right? So, and even Sean Combs himself getting blindsided. It's most interesting. If you listen to Harvey Harvey Levin, TMZ, the very first, because they did three little episodes of the Diddy deal. The very first sentence out of Harvey's mouth is that he was blindsided. Sean Combs was blindsided. That's straight from Harvey. And I thought, holy shit, if that doesn't bring the mystery school full circle all the way home of not getting blindsided. It's in the headlines every week. Even Lizzo, and this is a quote, I was blindsided by my backup singers, or dancers rather, with the lawsuit. Blindsided, that's what goes on today. And with these tools, starting with one magic word and then using dreams, signs, and your gut, it's not going to happen.
Back to Diddy and the story, had he received the hue, what it does is gives you a snapshot of what's coming around the corner. Now, that's how powerful it is. That's why we call it one magic word.
The flip side, no victims. You're always warned. You're always protected. But then we have free will, right? So there you go. And the little self tends to win out and run the show. So then we make the wrong choice and then shit gets all fucked up. But, so it's kind of twofold, Had he been there at the pool, he would have had the hue and he would have had an opportunity to do some things differently. And then had he been working with us lately, he would have totally been prepared and known what was coming, like way in advance. Like Michael met me in 3 years ahead of time in the dream state. So you're warned way ahead of time. So had he been working with us, things could have been different and turned out differently. And had he been hewing for the past 2 decades, his heart would have softened. The little self moves over there. The higher self takes control. Your godly self, okay? The best version of you is what starts running the show.